Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another book review. There's going to be a couple of these ones, but they'll be scattered hopefully throughout the rest of March. So this particular review is for The Wild Hunted. This is by Rebecca Flynn, and this is actually her debut book. This is a shorter book, it is 170, with the epilogue, 179 pages. I don't particularly care for the cover of this book, but I was really surprised with the body and the actual story. I'm just pulling up on Goodreads what it is that I rated this. I can't remember if I gave it a 3 or a 4. Let me see, because I'm just kind of on the fence, so I'm just trying to pull it up. Okay, so The Wild Hunted by Rebecca Flynn. I gave this 4 stars. Okay, I'm glad I looked that up. So yes, I gave this 4 stars, and I still stand by that 4 stars. Again, I don't particularly care for this cover. I just don't like the cover. So, but the inside was good. So this one we're following a girl by the name of Hades, and she has this kind of uncanny strength and this ability to see and hunt down mythological creatures and kind of prevent them from causing harm and things like that. She was raised by a kind of like a foster father, and things like that, and he was kind of trying to raise her in one lifestyle. She wanted to go another way and found that that other way wasn't really for her, and so then she's back to this, how it is that you're reading about, which I found that very interesting. And that I liked that because that does happen in real life with people. They're raised one way and then they just go on their own way. They go their own paths, make their own decisions, their own choices, and they deal with those consequences, whether those consequences are good or bad. And they decide again and choose to either stay on that path, go a different path, or go back to the path that they were on. That's just life. And so I did find that realistic. So I thoroughly appreciated that. So it says, someone has started unleashing mythological creatures to wreak havoc and spirit away children amidst unnatural weather patterns. The unnatural weather patterns was really cool. So you had like a kind of, I think they called it an inverted tornado, over that kind of like stayed in one place over a particular building. So the spiriting away children, I think, is a little misleading for the description of this particular book. Again, this is a debut from this author. This is actually part of a series. There's, I think, a second book that's coming out or is out. It is out. It was published January 28th or 26th? January 28th. And the second book is called Iron Will. Sorry for the adjusting with the lighting. Okay, anyway, so the series is called The Pandora Chronicles. So this is book 1. And the Pandora Chronicles definitely makes sense because you do have the mythological being of Pandora definitely prominent in this book. You have Pandora's box being opened, and hence the mythological creatures are about. And Pandora, the children in this, you kind of have, she possesses the body of a child, and in this book it's the same child, so spiriting away children, well, she spirited away one child in this book, and you learn that really quickly. And it's actually, that aspect actually gets a little kind of weirded out a little bit, but it was really good. The fact that you have this, 5 or 6 year old little girl who's suddenly acting like a 30-year-old woman, or just this obviously very mature woman, and kind of goes back and forth, is really weird. So the other thing, so you have a couple of creatures. You also have Cernunuous, I think is how you say that. I did look it up twice, and I'm pretty sure I still said that wrong, which is this creature with the horns and stuff. And there's a group of mythological creatures called the Loup-Garou, I think is how you say that. The Loup-Garou that are basically kind of like werewolves. That's the simplest term, but it's more specifically the Loup-Garou leads the werewolves. So the Loup-Garou is like the leader of the pack. But anyway, they worship Cernunnuus, and Hades, it has to try and get to where Cernunnuus is kind of jailed, or he just basically he's jailed. I mean, that's the best way I can think of it. But she's trying to beat the werewolves because they both need to release Cernunnuus to complete their plans, and they both have different end games, and so it's a race between who's going to get there first and what the outcome is going to be. And so that was really interesting. Hades does have a partner, not like boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, anything like that. More like a work partner, if that makes sense. Although you do get quite a bit that the work partner wants to be more than just a work partner, actually wants to be in a relationship with Hades. And so there's a little banter with that. I did find that Hades could have stood a little bit more character development. She was kind of flatter than I would have liked her to be, but again, it's a debut book. So I'm not overly concerned about that. I still thoroughly enjoyed this, and this is a book that when I was reading it, it's kind of like I entered my own little cocoon or little bubble, and the outside world just went away. And I don't get that experience with reading all that often. So that's why I gave it a 4-star. Part of why I gave it a 4-star is I just wanted to keep reading. I wanted the story to continue. And I have the second book on my wish list, so I hope to get it soon. At some point I'll purchase it and read it, but I'm just not ready to do so yet. But I am excited to continue this. Now, I don't know if this is going to be just a duology because it was just the second book that was recently released. So I don't know if there's going to be more, but that's pretty much going to be it. There's not much to explain with it only being 179 pages, but I thought it was fleshed out very well, especially for a debut book. I can't wait to see how the author's writing develops and grows. And how the characters develop and grow as well. So that'll be interesting. And to see if more mythological creatures kind of join or come into this story as well, and what they will be. It is, and when I say mythology, it is Celtic mythology. It does say it's a mixture of Celtic mythology, action, adventure, and suspense. So not like Greek or anything like that, but Celtic mythology, which I thoroughly liked. Because most of the mythology retellings that I hear about are like Greek mythology retellings, but it was very refreshing to hear and learn about a Celtic mythology retelling. So thoroughly enjoyed this, highly recommend. And that's really going to be it. So if you've read this, definitely let me know. It'll be interesting to see. I've never heard anyone talk about this, so I would like to know if anyone else has read this and what you thought about that. So that's going to be it for this particular video. So until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.